Hello and welcome everybody, I'm OneProperVarian and today we're going to start out by beating up these brigands that are currently just sitting around over there, but I promise you not for long as we raise our 1 million troops and bring them over here to the border. Now we're going to start off this video with a battle, but of course that is not going to be the main focus of this episode. We are going to instead be expanding right here. I would like to create our major, settlement right here at the stream in this particular video, at least in its baseline. Obviously, we'll have to kind of, work around how exactly it works as we go. Other than that, I will probably also redo these fields once they are fallow. I'm just going to make them really long, kind of, separated fields like we have them here, just for aesthetical purposes. I want a pretty big differentiation, if possible, between these right here and then the Slavic fields right over there. Anyway, I will also, maybe, potentially, we'll have to see whether I would actually do this, get rid of this manor. Let me just tell all these folks to stop running. I want to get rid of this manor so that I can get rid of this retinue and then create instead another militia spear unit. That would be beautiful because then we have the maximum and we will be in a great spot. After that, I will probably be refounding this manor. And if I had to guess, probably down here. So, put it into this new area that will become our urban center. Whether we are going to do that, I am not entirely sure of yet, but I will most certainly look into it. Alright, and here they come. My big hope is that we can defeat them without taking even a single loss. I think that would be ideal. Let's set you to stand your ground for the time being. Everybody that... Oh, I can see they are going for my retinue. I've heard that that is the case. They just keep doing that. Well, anyway, we're going to mop them up, and I think for that I may have to, slightly move into them. Yeah, look at that. Let's just take care of them. I think we'll be pretty fast here, since I am going to dissolve the retinue. It's fine if they die anyway. Don't worry about it too much, okay? And now let's just set everybody here to aggressive behavior. We're shifting over. We are going to destroy them. There you go. Easy peasy. Not at all an issue. We lost a single man and then one in our retinue. We're gonna be fine. Don't worry about it too much. And you know what? I think what we're gonna do here is, because this is very, very steep, I don't think our town is going to go back into this direction. Rather, we're going to be roughly over here. And of course, in this entire valley. That is going to be a huge part of our city planning here. But for the time being, what would probably be very, very beneficial to us would be if we could have some type of road right here. We're gonna lead you roughly along this, this elevation line. There you go. Just so that we can have some more fields on this side. I think having some additional fields right at the river right here would definitely make a lot of sense. So we're going to have some here. Actually, this might be... Yeah, this is way too steep. That is disgusting. Right here we are going to have some fields. I think maybe even a small field right there. I want to push ourselves, I think, to the limit when it comes to the fields. Which will mean... I will be needing an additional farmhouse. Just where will I put it? That's the big question here. We could just, put it, right here. It's not that beautiful, though. You know what? Oh, that goes into the river. You know what? Let's not do that. That doesn't sound right to me. I think I'm just going to place it alongside the main road here as the end, basically, of this particular section of the Hagen-Hufendorf. And then we will set these additional sets of fields roughly along the river here. Going to keep this one tree right there. And then, other than that... Yeah, I think we can just take down these trees. I don't think anybody's going to cry about these right here. We are going to set you exactly along the roadside. And we are going to have some type of road in between here. What the hell was that snapping? What is this? Okay, wait a minute. That is terrible. There you go. All right, and then there you go. We're going to have a field exactly alongside. Oh, that is... can I make that happen? That is terrible. I don't want this... Will it look okay? Surely there's no way that it will look okay. No, we can't do that. I'm sorry. That's not allowed. I can only really stop it from snapping if I have a road here in the river, which is the dumbest thing anybody could ever say to me. But we're gonna have this road in the river for the time being. Okay, wait a minute. Yeah, I'm gonna use this tool. I know people told me about this in the comments as well. I am going to have a road right here so that I can snap the field along this road and stop it from going into the river. I think it should be beneficial. Immediately after, I can then, of course, destroy it. Yeah, okay, that works. That works for sure. Means we have some respectful distance to the river. I think that is completely fine here, yeah. Since most of what we do, by the way, will be building and then indeed waiting for people to move in, I think we're going to use this episode to just do a walkabout. I'm going to place everything down, obviously, and then we're going to take a look around in what we already have in the hope that we can see some beautiful sights there. Let's find the other river crossing. There's definitely one more crossing. There it is. Take a look at that. So this is where we will be leading this road down here. And then into this kind of elevated road right there, which also will then give us the blueprint for where we will want the fields immediately behind the stream right here. I don't want to go too far because roughly here, that is where we do want some housing going on as well, right? So I'm just going to lead this in here, and then we're going to assume, and let's hope that I can do this without snapping, that we will have fields right here, and then roughly here is where the actual town plot will start. Oh yeah, look at that. This actually works really well, making it so that I can snap it roughly there, and then we don't have any issues. This field here looks beautiful. Then directly here in the non-elevated area, we're going to have a corresponding plot as well. Now making it so that, yeah, the freshly placed farmhouse right here will also be taking care of these plots. So these together are going to take care of this. This is a huge area. Make no mistake here, of course, of just farming. But hey, that is where we're getting our prosperity from. That is the majority of what a farmer, of what a peasant would, of course, be taking care of. We're going to have these fields right here. Ideally, I would like to maybe have these as kind of vineyards, right? We have this elevation right there, but obviously that is not currently in the game. So instead, they're just going to be normal fields that will be taken care of by this Hagen Hufendorf at the river. And I think what we're going to do here, I will be separating these fields, but I think we're going to make it so that I can then plant some trees so that we get a disconnect here, right? We're going to have a tree line right here via a new forester. And this tree line should then make it so that we get even a nice visual distinction between everything happening here in our main area of this main village and the Rundling right next door. Yeah, so this used to be one field right here, one big field. I separated that, and I think we should be doing all right there now. Just means that I need to grab one of the foresters. I have a ton of foresters working over here. Don't worry about it, okay? None of your business, pal. And we're just going to make them plant some trees roughly like this in the hope that we can get a nice visual separation here. That would be great, I think. Yeah, we definitely need that nice visual separation. This is all in a very small area if you really want to break it down here, right? It's just one particular region, but hey, ultimately, yeah, if you had very fertile land, obviously you would settle it, you know, beyond belief. So this is one of the elements here. Let me take a look at you. Looking for a planting spot. Okay, the forest is already coming. Wow, that is very, very fast. Where are you planting, pal? Are you just looking around? Are you done? Where are you going? Huh. She's having trouble finding a planting spot because I guess she keeps finding out, wait a minute, there's a field there, wait a minute, there's a field there, wait a minute, there's a field there. I don't think that is working, okay. I might have to use very small circles unless they at some point do figure it out. Let's hope that they do. Because right now they're just walking around aimlessly. Are they actually planting anything? I feel like they're all just working. Are you all... You're all plant workers, aren't you? You're all foresters? Let me actually check the forester building. It really feels like... Yeah, they're just all working by really ultimately just walking back and forth. Let me give you a smaller work area, right? Let's just say when you try to find a planting spot right over there. How does that serve you? Oh, that looks good. Looks like they're finding something. Maybe. Huh. I think there's new trees there. Am I wrong? I'm not sure. I'm gonna micromanage that though. We'll find out. And by the way, there is currently an experimental branch that was just released. They fix some stuff. They, for example, bring down ale consumption. They make it so that the king does leverage attacks, making the game quite a bit harder. And we're not playing on this, and I don't think we're going to be playing on this version. We will ultimately, of course, do a playthrough on that with those changes, but it's all experimental. Chances are it's going to get things completely broken, so you know what, I'm just going to avoid that for the time being. I did check it out, but we are going to hop into a playthrough like that one eventually. Not right now, though. I don't think it's working. You know, I'm just looking around now. I don't think they've planted anything at all. Alright, we got plenty of materials lying around, and what we're going to do is we're going to roughly plan out where this is going to go. What are we going to do with this, right? What is the point of this village? Now, obviously we can't do this right away. You can see this is split between separate areas. We only have this one actually inside of our terrain, but this right here feels like a very natural expansion anyway, right? What we're going to do is, I'm going to move my manor. Am I going to move it right now? Maybe I'm not going to do it right now. We're just going to roughly skirt out where we will have the manor. We're going to have the manor in a relatively elevated position. And I'm going to draw some roads around it just so that we can see it. I think this right here, being where the manor is. So the manor would be inside, the fence would be inside. We would do some, of course, adjacent buildings. And then as you come down from here, you can see the manor perfectly. I think this would make a really nice first impression. And that also means that we will have the central area here already mapped out. We would essentially start right here, leading a road down into this direction, and then right here, lead a road down into this direction as well. We will have the church somewhere relatively high up. So I'm not saying extremely high up, but what I am saying is it needs to be elevated. It cannot be down at this river. I don't think that would be a great idea. And you know what, now that I'm looking at this, so we can't be over there. This right here, though, is still in our territory. We could technically have this village have its attention split, essentially, right? We would have one manor right here, one church right there, and that would make it so that this entire thing would be the center as it lies between these two locations. But yeah, this is so low. I'm not sure whether I even want to count this as, you know, a part of our terrain. I think instead we're going to place the church. Actually, we're going to place the church right here. I think this is already good enough. We're going to move slightly in and then have the church in this area. The purpose kind of being that this church, much like the manor, gives a secondary central spot. Game had to save, give it a second. And we're going to make, much like with the manor, we're going to lead one road around the entire thing so that we have one central marker that we can then follow. Now, here it's the same story. Obviously, if I'm at the manor, I would like to reach this church relatively easily. That is where this path comes in. This will be, just for the record, a Haufendorf-inspired, or rather influenced by the Hagen-Hufendorf. So we're already planning out logical paths. Where do you want to go if you are in this village? And so far, yeah, you want to reach the church very, very easily. You want to reach the manor very, very easily. And then, of course, the trade route here is the main objective as well, together with, well, crossing the river, maybe coming to your house, and so on. With that being done, we're going to place down a couple of houses here. Very similar to what we have in the other location. We will have Hagen-Hufendörfer right here. So these are directly at the river, relatively long, getting quite the good backdrop right there. And yet they will, of course, be effectively in the village center. We're going to lead this down here. You know what, I gotta separate this. We're going to lead this down here. I think over here we're also going to already turn around. I would like, if we could. No, there we go. That is exactly what I wanted. We're going to have these buildings right here along the entire street. Yeah, that is good. That is what I'm talking about. And then over here, obviously adjacent to this, if I could, I would make it in a slightly different fashion here. But I don't think I can. One building like this, what do you think? I think this kind of works. I think that kind of works out. You still have the backyard at the river. Makes perfect sense. And again, most importantly, in a Haufendorf, if you plan it, make it so that you always have one central area that really matters to your village and, well, of course, to you. Now, with all that being done, let's talk about the amenities. We need to make sure that we have all the stuff that we need in this village down here as well, especially in central areas. I'm going to put the tavern right at this main road, making it so, of course, please snap to the road, making it so that, of course, well, I mean, this is a very important location, right? This is where villagers will first, or where travelers will first enter your village. I'm going to place it exactly like this. And now I need to think. We do need a well, and I want a well. We're going to place it roughly right there. I think that corner makes a lot of sense. I'm not yet sure whether they're going to turn this. It's not actually that steep. Whether they're going to turn this or this into the marketplace. We'll have to see about this. Anyway, what are we looking at here? We need a tavern. We already got that. We got the well. I definitely need a granary and a storehouse, at least one. And I wouldn't want it to really face the main attraction. You know, we could just do a market square. That could kind of be interesting. A market square that is effectively split, like between these two regions. You know, I think that's exactly what we're going to be doing. Let me just draw that out here. I want a market square right here. 20 locations, it's a good start. And then an adjacent market square right over here with as many positions as we can get. 40. Ah, right. Okay, you just... You don't understand that there's something in your way. I think now we got it. 39. Okay, so this is one market square, except technically speaking, it is split. And now that makes it so that I would actually like another road along this market square so that I can then have houses behind you. That's the idea anyway. I gotta see how this all looks, by the way. I'm not too sure about this. Just trust the plan. That's really all I can say. Whenever we create something like this, I can only really hope that we build something beautiful. I don't like that this makes it so that this road will be incredibly thin. I might have to move the tavern. We'll see, okay? Let's just place this down as is. Don't even want double houses there. That's completely okay. And then right here next to the church, we can have a very small, doesn't function. I'm gonna move this tavern. You know what? Let me figure this out. We could alternatively have the tavern, it's just the problem with the tavern is I want it in a very central place, but we can't actually do that. Because if we place the tavern centrally, all we actually get is a really disgusting roof in our central area of town, which, I mean, make it make sense. It just doesn't look the part, right? It just doesn't fit in. I think I'm going to place it instead. Oh yeah, you know what? I think we're going to place it like this. And then we're going to run another road. Are we actually going to run another road there? You know what? No, we're not going to do that. We're just going to build these houses as I had initially planned. Oh, we just don't have enough goods. Okay, you know what? I'm just going to keep it this way. We're going to start building these up. And I'll be back once they're built so that we can see where we can go from there. I hope that this will look fine. It's a Haufendorf. Never forget this, but that doesn't mean that I'm not making the biggest mistake of my life here by building it the way I am. We do have some... Now, what we're also going to do is we are actually going to have a road here in the back that does not face into the position of where the action is. Rather, it faces the other way, thanks to the backyard improvement idea, right? What we're building here essentially preps people to work their own gardens, even in a very urbanized setting. And I gotta put a path behind it. Otherwise, it just snaps in the dumbest ways. There we go. Except here, I want it kind of facing, you know, just a general facing thing. We're gonna change this around here. This road is too important not to have you face that way. It's really just that simple sometimes. Even if it may look a bit weird every now and again. I think this is gonna pan out. Let's delete this weird road right here that I put down just as a marker. Let's let all of this stuff be built. This, again, is now a double Hagen-Hufendorf. If you take a look at this, right, they are both working with the stream right here. Hopefully, making this a viable village. We shall see. Oh, you're building this up first, really? Out of all the things, that is what you care about first? Interesting. Alright, we do also need a storehouse. I think I'm gonna put you up here, maybe? You know what, actually, I'm gonna put you next to the church. This is a relatively isolated location anyway. God, I hope that this comes out nicely. It's always so difficult to get this right, but I hope we got it right here. We'll see. I might even just, honestly, I might just get rid of this road. I might just make this one bigger marketplace. But then again, I think this could be a great divider. We'll see. I don't know. It's a tough one, okay? And yeah, look at that. The foresters seem unable to actually plant anything there. That sucks, but okay. Just means I have to get rid of their assignment. That, yeah, I really would have liked a visual barricade there, but what can you do? Alright, and what I'm also now going to do, and I hope I'm not making a big mistake here, I'm going to start cutting down this forest. I talked about this in the past, that these would grow together, and this will essentially become our maintained artificial forest. Artificial, quote-unquote, obviously, because, well, it is natural, but we're keeping it alive artificially. This right here would, well, basically lead to these villages growing together. I'm not too happy with this path, but we're going to correct this eventually. For the time being, let's simply put down a woodcutter's lodge, and immediately next to it, a logging camp. There it is. Both of these making it so that we can then tear this forest down very speedily before we actually transplant the manor. I would like to have some type of manor up here, like to keep this, but I don't think I can do it. Or rather, I mean, I'm gonna just get rid of this. We're gonna see how we do it, okay? Maybe I will leave them here with a tax office, but I have to get rid of it anyway, so that I can get rid of this retinue and get an additional spear militia unit. Alright, and then over here, you can see we're mostly done. We're obviously going to continue our onslaught, building next to the river right here. Let's actually build this here. You know what, this is such a weird one, but it's just big enough If it's good enough for the street here, then it's good enough for me. Let's turn this into just one. We don't really care for what they do in their backyard. They're obviously, aesthetically speaking, they have a clear purpose, but nothing beyond that. And now let's take a look at this. I want houses like this, if possible at all. Let's take a look at this. And then one here at the corner. Oh, is that not possible? Oh, there you go. I saw it. Okay, we got it. And that should be okay. I think that is going to be okay. Then over here, we're going to split it. Yeah, there you go. That is perfect. Making this a bit of a bigger road. And then we have to find a street network over here, which shouldn't be too difficult. We are also, of course, going to transition over here, I think, into farming again. We want even more farming, but this right here will become part of our proper urbanization. And then, well, I guess over here we should also actually transplant some farmhouses, or some houses in general. Maybe along these lines, a bit longer. I think we're going to lead a road basically down here. And then just build some houses along the river. Once again, as you do, you know how it is. Now let me think, right? Did we forget anything? Obviously we want to do that. A trade post will be great. I mean, a trading post is a no-brainer. We definitely have to put that one in. Maybe actually over here. What kind of roof do you have? Oh, they actually have a decent roof. You know what? You're not bad. You're not bad at all. I think I'm going to place you right here, because this will, of course, lead outside of our territory here. I think that trade outpost should make a lot of sense. Yeah, why not? The wild animals have migrated again, and now they just literally live on my fields. Oh, come on. That's pretty funny. That is pretty funny. Alright, anyway, cut down this entire forest. Get it out of here. Alright, with how many trees we have cut down, let's do the unspeakable and demolish this guy. Wait, what? Can I not do that? Is that impossible? Asking person inside to leave? I think... Oh, I had to ask 2 families to leave, I think. And now that they did that, we can actually build another one right here. Did the retinue disappear? No, it did not. Oh... So I need the retinue to get wiped before I can build another manor. I think that is what this looks like anyway. That's kind of unfortunate, because again, it does mean that we now need to wait. But if we ever face bandits, if bandits do pop up again, the poor retinue will have to perish. Alright, so you know what? There seem to be no bandits. What we're gonna do here, I'm going to attack him. And I will be sacrificing my retinue, you better believe it. They will all die. Let's claim this with influence, and let's hope that he sends something that I can actually fight, so that we can then from there, you know, get rid of the retinue and build a new manor. Alright, well, actually I'm back. I just tested it. If the retinue dies, nothing changes. They still stay there, so I can't actually get a 6th unit of the spear militia, which means we might as well just build the manor whenever, by which I mean right now, because apparently there are no benefits derived from any of this. I mean, fair enough. It is what it is. What are you gonna do, eh? Let's put down everything that we want here. We are also going to go ahead and actually have a tax office here. Oh, I gotta put the tax office, like, right here. Okay. I would like you to maybe be in the wall long term, but for the time being, it is what it is. And then we are going to take a look at this, right? We need a wall tower. Like right here. We need one like right there. Obviously behind. Over there as well. And then right here. What we're now going to do is we're going to draw this wall. Hopefully in a functioning manner. One can only hope, huh? Oh, does that not snap at all? Oh, I hate that. It doesn't snap at all. Man, this is costing me it's costing me a lot in terms of nerves here. Oh, you are snapping? Wait a minute. If I remove all of you, do the new ones snap? That would be great. Oh, they do. Okay. Oh, here we go. Thank God, you just saved me. This could have otherwise been pretty bad. Would have looked very stupid. Yeah, take a look at that. Now we're going to put down a major outer tower. Sorry, a major inner garrison tower. I'm going to put you right there. Oh, that is nice. I like that. We got this tax building right there as well. And then let's just connect that in here, if I may, which apparently I'm not allowed. What is this? Oh, I know what this is. Okay, all right. For starters, it is now producing the manor right here. After that, we can continue the plans for the wall. And we're definitely going to do that. I'm super excited. I think this is going to look pretty good. I will be redrawing, I think, the paths around the manor once we're done with it, though. But yeah, for starters, that is pretty good. Now, this, by the way, and I already like where this is going. You can see right here, this is becoming a real community. We have this central plaza right there. If you come in from this direction, you can't even really see it properly because you have this kind of... you have an elevation difference there, and maybe more importantly, we have some more rural buildings first. You can only see the tower of the church, but then once you're in, it gets busy, it gets cramped. That's exactly how I wanted to see this. This hasn't been used at all so far, this marketplace right here. It will be filled soon enough, I'm sure. But yeah, I think we got something. I think we're cooking. Alright, folks, like I mentioned, let's get ready for a walkabout. I am very much not at the end of where this new town is going. We need to upgrade so many houses. I am still building even the very core of it. We haven't even built that new manor, but I'm very positive about where we are going right here. We are starting right at the Rundling for this for this walkabout. Let's go up here, because the Rundling obviously has 2 entrances, which is quite unique here. We actually got that done for this one, whereas the other one was isolated. This one has room to grow, and I think room to grow into the new settlement right next to it. But for the time being, I mean, take a look at that. Yeah, this is a pretty lone farmstead situation. You come in here as a trader. At this point, it is very unlikely, actually, that you would be going down this road, as the main trade town is now down that hill, or, well, we are establishing it down that hill anyway. But before that, of course, I mean, take a look at that. We have this very, very rural area. They are doing woodwork here. They're making sure that, you know, we have enough construction materials. These are all being staffed by the population of the Rundling, and we do have this mill right there. And then in the distance, you can see our first village right over there. So that village would be the... oh, look at that. I forgot that I put the shrine here. The Waldhufendorf, after which we named the entire region for the time being. And then, if you go in here, you can go into this Rundling. And like I said, this one is relatively unique in the sense that it both has, well, you know, 2 entrances. And, of course, we already have placed some buildings alongside these entrances, rather than just around the village center right here. And if we walk into this, it feels so untouched. It just look around. This area, I don't think I've ever built an area this neatly, this tightly, and yet this looks like there's nothing in, you know, surrounding it, maybe in 20, 30, 40 kilometers. But yeah, I mean, obviously that impression is very wrong. We were able to secure this tree. This tree still exists. Very nice. I was afraid that, you know, when I was remodeling the center here, that we would basically lose everything, but luckily that is not the case. Now, down here, we have, of course, the ever-important stream. This village is fairly close to it as well, but not adjacent. You can see right here, there are some farms dividing us from this stream, but we can see the start of the Hagenhufendorf that then, of course, goes into a Haufendorf. I've placed these exactly next to each other. We can see it down here. It is currently, I believe, May. It may very well be June. I could be wrong there, but I think it is May. Making it so that our wheat, wherever we have planted it, you can see it there in the distance, it is now currently in a pretty good, in a pretty well-kept state. And yeah, you can see this even beyond the river. You can see that we are keeping some fields over there as well. Whereas, of course, the entire Hagenhufendorf is effectively just gardening economy. Yeah, take a look at that. I like the way this came out. Yeah. It looks tumultuous. It looks impromptu, you know, basically an ad hoc creation. And that is exactly what it is. Whereas here on the other side, it is very much not ad hoc. This is very, very planned. What we have right here is the direct... Oh, I like the way this came out. What we have right here is the directly to the Hagenhufendorf belonging fields. You can see currently we're doing mostly flax here. I've set them on a pretty lax schedule, although I may make that a bit tighter, because we do now, I think, have 16 families working in these. Oh my god, are you my retinue? I think this is my retinue, and they're hanging out because we haven't completed the manor fully yet. Well, I mean, if it helps. Anyway, they are standing right here. We can see the farmstead, and you know what? I'm actually going to go up there. We will have to backtrack, since there is no way from this mill into the actual village. I like the way the village came out. This is the extremely rural part right here. You can see we have this, behind the stream, we have this hillside there that we're not building on. Oh, look at that. Yeah, we got these beautiful little farms right here. Now, these farms, like I said, belong to the Hagenhufendorf, and this would actually make a difference, by the way. This Hagenhufendorf would be isolated. It would be in its own jurisdiction as well, probably in the Manor Lords jurisdiction, whereas this right here is basically very close to getting an Ortsätter, right? These would have their own limitations, maybe ultimately be declared its own village / its own city and so on, and then they would also have their own jurisdiction as well. But you can see it right here, this is all just farming. We're tearing down what separated us from the original village. Yeah, you can see that right there. You can see also that we're building up a lot. Like I said, this was mostly me building, and most of the buildings that you will now see here aren't even yet inhabited, since these people first need to migrate here. But I hope that you can see very much the separation right here between the Rundling, the Hagenhufendorf, and then the major village right here. Now, I'm going to be honest with you, I haven't stepped into this village in this third-person mode myself. I hope it came out nicely. You do have to imagine that the very core of the village that we're about to step into will still be upgraded into level 2 and level 3 houses. Currently, it is all level 1. That is just how that goes. And here you can see I have built on both sides of the stream. This right here in the center down there where the top of my cap is, that is the stream. So all these houses here are essentially built in the very framework of the Hagenhufendorf, whereas, oh, and I need to get rid of the bushes here. I can do that, I'm just going to go over that with the brush. Takes me like 2 seconds. And this is the King's Road as well, so this is the trade route that we're following here. You can see the church slightly uphill so that the corpses do not fall into the stream when we bury them. And then we have immediately... Oh, this is going to be so nice when we actually have everything. So this will become a full-on market square. These right here will all be level 3, every single house. I think we are still building level 1 houses here even, and then this will be a pretty big manor, a huge manor. We currently only have the main house, again, obviously we're going to correct this. And then we have this main road, so this is essentially built alongside a cross. We have this main road right there that leads into Waldbrand, and then this one that is just the King's Road. I think this is going to come out very, very nicely. If we go down this road, and I think I'm going to speed this up as soon as we leave this village. Like I said, this goes down essentially into the crossing into Waldbrand. They have their very own communal oven and all that kind of stuff over there. But as you can see right here, yeah, we have a kind of way going in there. A lot more houses will be built into this direction. And you can see right here, we are not even done with the houses here. And I think this is roughly the point where we'll start speeding it up. But before I do it, essentially this will become the end of the village. And then we are going to take a look at this, have more fields into this direction. You know what, I'm not going to speed it up, I'm just going to press escape. So all of these will become more houses here in this density, then plenty of fields. And then right here, let's take a look at what it looks like from the distance. Oh, look at that, yeah. The hillsides here really block sight very, very well. I really, really like that. Obviously, that city or that town is going to become a proper city before long. And you can then see it from a distance as well once we have the, you know, level 3 houses. Right now, that is not the case. But you can already see the church. That's a good start. But it is indeed only a start. And then, right here, we have the other village that we built now a while ago, a Straßendorf, that has its very own fields, its very own mill. They work here actually to work on the flax. This is where you put the weaver's hut. And just look at how nicely isolated this is. When you're here, you can't even see the main city. Yeah, we've all built this in one particular area, but this still looks so nicely isolated. You know, I think my biggest concerns right now are for the Haufendorf that is adjacent to the Hagenhufendorf, where we are building the manor, entirely because I can't really see what that will look like going forward, just because it is all still currently level 1 houses. Again, we are obviously going to change that, but man, I hope that it's going to look good, but I can't guarantee it just yet. Anyway, here we come to the Straßendorf. Oh yeah. And this one, I mean, we built it. It looks so rural. I never got rid of any of the backyard shrubbery. I only cleared the shrubbery in the main entrance point here. And look at that. You get the flax fields in the background there. Yeah, this turned out great. I love this one. That is great. They got their own ox. Wait a minute. Do you not... I think I built it slightly outside, right? Do you not have your own well? Oh, there it is, right. We got the well, and you can see right here the flax going down. That is exactly what this village does. It's essentially its own, you know, its singular purpose. And then over there in this side road right here, if I'm not mistaken, you can see our traders, by the way, coming in with their horses. But in this side road, we have the Soul Weaver's Hut right here. I think we may need more. Actually, you know what? I'm not sure. I don't think we need more. I think we have a ton of linen. I think we need more people working that linen into something else. We're obviously going to be doing that with the burgers in our newly created town. And then right here we have the very first town that we put down. This is Zittau. This is the town that we built when we started out. It is the Waldhufendorf. Man, and you cannot even guess that behind that hill is that big village. Anyway, this is the Waldhufendorf. It has grown beyond belief. I'm not going to upgrade it any further, except I think most buildings in this village will eventually become level 2. This is a fairly central, this is a trading village, no matter how we look at it. But this village itself is essentially finished, yeah. There's not really much more to it. It is a trading hotspot, of course, but so will the other village be. And as we step into it, you can see I keep it here in the entrance area, relatively rural. You can see the farms in the background, you know, the fields spread out. We get a lot of flax, a lot of barley, a lot of wheat. And then slowly but surely you can see the roofs emerge of level 2 housing. I haven't put down a single level 3. I could have, but I didn't. And I think you can see that here as well. This is not a village that will ever be level 3. This will remain level 2. Further down the valley, where the new manor will be. And by the way, this one right here, we need to do something with this. This is where the manor used to be. Had to tear it down, sadly. But this is where that manor used to be. Which sadly didn't allow me to actually get rid of my retinue. But hey, it is what it is. What do you want me to do about it? We can walk through this. And I think if I choose the right spot, we can actually go down the hill and see what it looks like from there into the new up-and-coming village. I like the way all of this is visually blocked, right? The way the trees, the way the fields actually, and the hillside as well, actually block out the view of these individual villages. Because even from here, despite this being uphill, you can't really see anything else. But if we do go down this road, I'm pretty sure that we are about to end up... Oh yeah, you can already see the church. That is nice, yes. We got some proximity in here. Once all of these buildings, once we get rid of the logging camp, all that stuff, once these buildings down there are level 3, this will be a magnificent sight. Oh, look at that. You can see the Hagenhufendorf. There it is, right? This is just the Hagenhufendorf. This is the Haufendorf / Hagenhufendorf. Oh, this looks so beautiful. And this will ultimately become the urbanized element on this map. Like the proper urbanized element. Oh, this is, yeah. This is turning out very nice. I'm quite content about this. Especially, I think this hole in the forest makes a lot of sense. Listen, don't ask me about this. I don't know what they're doing, okay? They were like, we gotta migrate where the fields are. Don't talk to me. We're gonna have this disconnect, right? We're gonna disconnect these forests. We're gonna keep this one, and we're gonna keep this one, though. So don't be too afraid. We're not gonna take away the... You know, these site blockers here. I think this is essentially perfect. And this is where we are right now. We are in a great spot. I've built up the street network. You can see we have a cross right here. And that is the center of that village. And as we go, of course, this marketplace will be occupied. This will be occupied with housing. This right here will grow and grow and grow, much like this one as well. Ultimately giving us our proper city. I'm very happy to see this. I hope the walkabout gave you a nice impression of where we are. In the next video, I'm not sure whether we are just going to be upgrading this village right here, or whether we are going to be expanding. I think we might be expanding over there. We'll see what we do, okay? I am very, very confident that what we're doing here is going into the right direction. I also actually think that we are doing okay. Maybe too many vegetables. We have a ton... Oh, actually, we don't have a ton of flour. That's interesting. Oh, okay. We need to get some more food, I guess. Maybe, and look at that, we have a ton of shoes and a ton of clothes. Maybe I actually need to go on and, so it's June and you're not really being harvested here. Interesting. Oh. I'm gonna do something about that food. We'll see. I'm not too concerned. We're doing okay. There are some unhappy people, but, I mean, look at that. We will be fine. For the time being, I will leave you right here. And I will see you later, alligator.